Now I would like to move to the next presentation and from Dr. David Bergvinson. And we heard him on the day one where he shared his vision. Let's see whether he changed his vision further or he upgraded. So anyway, I would like to invite Dr. Bergvinson for presenting the way forward. So please join me in welcoming David.
Thank you, Rajiv. Secretary S.K. Patnaik, strong supporter and advocate, and you heard him just now. With that kind of drive, vision, things are happening, and India's future is bright, but also showing leadership to other nations. Dr. R.S. Perota, thank you for laying out the walk through history and what that can inform for the future as we prioritize the integration of these modern tools to accelerate genetic gain realized in farmers' fields. Big challenge, but we can do it. Peter Carberry, Rajiv, well done. And all of you, special thanks to all of you who've traveled, engaged, participated to address my challenge that I laid out on day one. That's the roadmap. I say we have a need for speed. Why? If you recall Moore's Law, that's sort of our era where we didn't have the prospect of a 1,000-year life. That was the year where the era where we were, using huge computers that were taking up the size of rooms, that moved to something that you could fit in your office, that now can fit on your lap. So 18 months, doubling of that capacity over the last 35, 40 years. Genomics, that pace is 12 months, probably moving to 6 months over the next 3 to 5 years. Remote sensing is actually moving faster than genomics, if you can imagine, with microsatellites. So there's a huge need to think differently about our analytical capacity to integrate all of this new technology to deliver integrated solutions for smallholder farmers and for society broadly. I'm very optimistic that this can be done, and this is why I was laying that challenge out to all of you. What's the roadmap? Not for maybe the next 10 years, actually, Rajiv. I think we need a challenge for the next 3 years. Given the pace at which things are moving and the need for these solutions, we have to be impatient. We have to be optimistic, and we have to partner. So, Secretary Patnaik, thank you for highlighting that issue of partnerships. Critically important. That's why we want to rebrand the Center of Excellence for Genomics. Yes, it was focused on science and delivering sequence and resequencing data to support the transformation of what was called orphan crops into now leading crops to deliver on nutrition and resilience in Africa and Asia and around the world. But we need to do more, and we need to do that together. So when we think about systems biology, I challenge all of you to be thinking more broadly than our own disciplines around crop biology. We need to be thinking about the integration of agriculture, yes, with health and with education. We need these three coming together to deliver on malnutrition. Why? Obviously, agriculture. We need productivity increase, but we need to increase the profitability and the nutrition that's generated from the agriculture or agri-food sector to deliver on the Sustainable Development Goals. This clearly needs to be integrated with health so that raw nutrition gets converted into realized improved quality of life and cognitive ability of children so that they have a brighter future, and that our society has a lower health bill, which is going to be important too. We talk about the triple burden of malnutrition. Undernutrition, yes, as I said on day one. Micronutrient deficiency, Dr. Perota highlighted biofortification and its role, but also the issue of overnutrition or obesity and the need to address that so that we reduce the burden of non-communicable diseases. But that third piece, education, is critically important. And it's to educate ourselves, our children, around how to achieve that nutritional security, but also how do we train the next generation of agricultural scientists that can integrate these other domains that I highlighted. Remote sensing for targeting of that technology and making sure it's sustainable. In the health field to make sure that we can actually, one vision would be to move not just from personalized healthcare to personalized nutrition. I do believe these are within our grasp within the next 10 years, if not sooner. But we need to build the ecosystem of talent to achieve that. On the first day, the Honorable Minister Y.S. Chowdhury challenged us. You know, we've trained 300 scientists. You need to train 3,000 scientists, he said. We need to think about our education system differently. It's not about brick and mortar anymore. It's about molding minds and empowering them to realize their full potential to contribute to society. So in closing, I'm looking forward to this roadmap from all of you for the next 3 years. As an administrator, I'm happy to take that challenge to policymakers, investors around the world, and giving them a solid business case for investing in research for development that's going to transform our food system to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. I'm optimistic with the talent we have in this room and the ecosystem that all of you represent through partnerships. It can be done. We have to make it real. So I'm looking forward to that map to make it a reality. Thank you.